Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The Street 919fm.com.
News from the street, 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM and online, Facebook and YouTube. In the headlines, a 69-year-old man is beaten and robbed after he went outside to help a woman in distress. Schoolboy freed of murder after spending 9 years in prison awaiting trial. Internationally, Ohio law allows teachers to carry guns in schools after 1 day of training. And now the news in detail. A 69-year-old man was beaten and robbed after he went to help his neighbor. The victim, who is from Brazil Road, Wallerfield, told police that at about 11:45 p.m. on Sunday, he was at his home when he heard a voice calling out to him. He looked outside and observed a woman that he knew from the area. The woman asked to use the washroom, and the older man said he attempted to let her inside. However, upon opening the door to his home to let the woman in, he was jumped by 4 masked men. The suspects beat the 69-year-old about his body and stole $6,000 in cash that he had at his home. The group then fled the scene. The police were notified and inquiries are ongoing. A 30-year-old man was shot in Movar on Sunday. The victim told police at about 9:20 a.m. he was liming with 2 friends along the Almond Drive, Movar, when a white Nissan AD wagon pulled alongside them. A man in the front passenger seat of the car pointed a gun at the group and opened fire. The group of friends attempted to flee the scene, but the 30-year-old was shot in the right thigh. The victim was then taken to the Port of Spain General Hospital. And a 21-year-old man was shot in Piti Valley on Monday afternoon. That victim told police that at about 5 p.m. he was liming with a group of friends in the vicinity of the Valley Hops Pan Yard off Moncoko Road when a silver Nissan B14 pulled alongside the group. The occupants called out to the victim and opened fire. They then drove off. The victim was shot in his hands, stomach and legs. Police say the vehicle was recovered shortly after the shooting along Yogi Drive, Piti Valley. It had a false license plate. When the chassis number was traced, it was discovered that the car had been reported stolen from the San Fernando district in February. A 59-year-old man reportedly fell off his bicycle on Sunday morning in Sangre Grande and died. Lakraj Katwaru of Oropuch Road, Sangre Grande, was found unresponsive at about 11:40 a.m. in a drain off the roadway near his home. He was last seen alive some 20 minutes earlier riding his bicycle. It is suspected that he may have fallen off and into the drain. He was taken to the Sangre Grande hospital. However, he succumbed while undergoing treatment. An autopsy was ordered to confirm the cause of death. A schoolboy who was charged with the murder of another schoolboy was yesterday found not guilty of the crime after spending 9 years in prison. Jonathan Timothy Bruce, who was 15 years old at the time, remained in prison custody charged with stabbing to death Ronaldo Dixon over a girl on May 27, 2013 at Waterloo Secondary School. A High Court judge yesterday delivered a verdict of not guilty in favor of Bruce after finding that the deceased was actually the one who initiated and prolonged the altercation that led to his death. Based on the evidence, Justice Jeffrey Henderson said he found the 15-year-old at the time was acting in self-defense after the prosecution failed to prove otherwise. Finally, on the international scene, teachers and staff in Ohio will be able to carry firearms into school after a maximum of 24 hours of training under new legislation. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, a Republican, signed a bill into law on Monday allowing school districts the option of arming workers. The move is being opposed by major law enforcement groups, gun control advocates, and the state's teachers' unions, with just a handful of police departments and school districts supporting it. The law requires up to 24 hours of training before an employee can go armed and up to 8 hours of annual training. Training programs must also be approved by the Ohio School Safety Center, the governor said, and schools can provide additional training if they wish. And that was the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online, Facebook and YouTube, recapping the headlines. A 69-year-old man is beaten and robbed after he went outside to help a woman in distress. Schoolboy freed of murder after spending 9 years in prison awaiting trial. Internationally, Ohio law allows teachers to carry guns in school after 1 day of training. Do enjoy your afternoon and continue to be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas.